us. Se habla español.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580. By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your gear. Follow the leader.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turn-offs, fantasies, and fetishes? Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this is going to be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. There's something wrong with that.
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams.
Reason and accountability.
The voice of reason.
So let's talk about this right now. So the needs from wounds versus our authentic needs. How can we tell the difference? Well, first and foremost, this is going to be one of the most important things you ever do in your healing journey, which is the ability to recognize the difference with your conscious mind between needs that are coming from wounds versus needs that are actually your desires and the things that you want to create and bring into your life and the things that benefit you and you have a healthy, balanced, non-overly attached and addictive relationship to. And so why does this matter? Why do we have to know the difference between these two things? Well, first, we need to know the difference because we can't really heal the needs from wounds. We can't fill those cups or feel fulfilled in them from something outside of ourselves. What we actually have to do is we have to end the pattern of re-traumatization that exists within us on autopilot at a subconscious level that we have continued to fire and wire this entire time without realizing it, and not at the fault of ourselves, but because of an old imprint that was made into us, usually from a painful experience, that we didn't have better resources or tools to either reprogram or fill the wound so that it was, we became whole again in that area that we were wounded and we were experiencing lack as a result, especially as it relates to our needs. And so if we don't heal this internally, we will keep hungering for these needs from our wounds, from a space of desperation, and usually we'll have this really painful relationship in how we get these needs met from the things outside of us. So how do we notice the difference? Well, number one, you are going to feel that your needs coming from wounds instead of your authentic needs, your sort of like adult healthy needs. These needs coming from wounds are going to feel overwhelmingly strong. You're going to feel a sense of desperation when you have these needs. Maybe somebody, let's say for example, you desperately want somebody to nurture you, to tend to you, to fix you, to save you. You're going to have more charged language around these needs. You're going to do things that are not necessarily characteristic of your overall personality and behavior to try to get these needs met. Like, for example, maybe you feel like you're a fairly confident person, but then you feel yourself like repeatedly calling somebody when you're triggered around a deeply unmet need that seems to be going unmet again. Okay, so notice the difference in your life between the needs from wounds, what does that feel like, and your healthy adult authentic needs. And the healthy adult authentic needs will feel...
Wow, she was cooking too.
Mm-hmm.
Hour number 2 of the Voice of Reason live from KBLA Talk 1580. We are in the heart of Africa Town, a.k.a. Lamert Pizark. You already know what it is. The Voice of Reason is on fire. We're talking about complementary wounds. I never heard the term until the other day. Somebody was talking about it. I said, I'm going to do a whole topic on that. I got to do it. So, tonight, let me ask Dr. Jashana Johnson, who's my special guest, along with my playlist. She's in here cooking. Can partners develop a stronger emotional bond through their shared experience of addressing complementary wounds? Like if they're in this reciprocal disclosing kind of environment where they're open and they're sharing and it's a safe space and they're talking about their wounds with each other, can their emotional bonds and ties grow stronger because of that sharing?
They can, but I like to take it even a step further.
Go deeper.
Because it's easy to share when it's safe. Right? And
if you don't push them tonight, I see you came in here for war.
Like,
push them.
No, it's easy to share when it's safe, and I think that there needs to be some level of safety in a relationship, but then there's also a level of risk that you have to take.
Sharing in the moments of risk.
Yeah. Yeah. But that and so that's when I say growth becomes the problem.
In other words, Dr. My guy, I done forgot his name, Dr. Mark Goulston. He says sometimes relationships benefit from a no-holds-barred, he said, minus violence.
Yeah, absolutely.
But a no-holds-barred, knock-down, drag-out argument.
If your partner can tolerate the message. If your partner can tolerate the message. Like, I don't teach communication skills because I think we've been communicating for centuries.
Right.
For centuries. So it's going to take more than a partner not hearing you for us to lose communication. Like, that's just not possible.
But people don't want to hear you when you're right.
What I help them
and so they focus on the tone and the delivery.
And that's their nervous system.
Ooh.
That's their nervous system that is responding to the tone and the delivery. But a lot of times we have difficulties tolerating the message. Like, communication ain't a virtue if you can't tolerate the message.
So wait a minute. Stop. You're hitting too hard. Are you telling me that really the message hurts more than the tone and the delivery?
Absolutely.
Oh. You just don't want to hear the truth. Oh, Lord. Keep going, please.
And so it's important for us to understand that we have to grow past. If you try to control the outcome, you'll control the output. You won't say the things that you need to say and do the things that you need to do in the relationship. So if I'm afraid of how you're going to react, I'm not going to be known to you because I'm not going to share that part of you, that part of me to you. So yes, in the beginning of relationships, there has to be a sense of safety. But there's also comes a time where you have to be able to communicate and be able to say your truth even when your partner is not going to agree with you.
So really, it's a red flag when your partner can't take a risk for y'all.
It can be, yeah.
1-800-920-1580. I'm going to the phone line. Based on what Jashana just said, Krishnamurti has a word. He says it this way. One is never afraid of the unknown. One is afraid of the known coming to an end. Everything I know, everything that made me what I am, this is how I think, this is how I get down, this is who I am. And when a partner comes in and speaks a word that goes against your known, it don't matter how they said it. That known that they're speaking hurts more than the tone and the delivery that it was delivered. Oh, Lord, we got callers. Let's get Sean from Oakland, California. Long time no hear. Get in here.
Hey, brother. Hey, Ms. Deshana Johnson, it's a pleasure to be with you. And Brother Zoda, the voice of reason. Look, absence, it doesn't matter. I'm always with you. I'm saying right here, you guys are just on it. Expectations. If there's anything to do with a narcissist, their expectations only help themselves. Remember that. Because when you're with someone, you probably don't want to be with them very long if everything that they expect has to do with helping them. They're not looking out for you. There's no teamwork involved. There's nothing. And you know what people can do? Because sometimes people are in love, really in love with someone that are a narcissist, a real narcissist that has those expectations, right? That anything you do only has to help me. What that does is actually cause a traumatic brain injury. It's very similar to PTSD and other real-time neurological deficits because they're so selfish. We all need to understand this. If you're going to be in a relationship, we don't know how long it will last or anything else, but let's not break someone down. Let's not bring them down and hurt them, right? It may not work. We may not be on the same level. We may not want to be together. It may not work out, but let's lift each other up. I know that sounds really, just nice and positive, but I tell you what, if you live every day of your life positive and lifting other people up, you'll probably have a pretty damn good relationship.
All right, man. Let me just say, man, it's been a long time, brother. I don't know where you've been.
Hey,
I
Sean.
love you.
But I appreciate
you
for jumping in here, man. Thank you, brother. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. I want to talk to everybody tonight from all over the country. When we come forward, we're going to go to Los Angeles. We're going to talk to Q. We're going to go to New York City. We're going to talk to Sister Ultimatum. We got folks on the line. Let's go.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Have you heard about Lendistry? Lendistry is a national black-led small business lender that is headquartered right here in LA. Once you've started your business, Lendistry provides flexible financing options starting at $50,000 to help you access the affordable capital needed to grow. Whether financing is needed to increase working capital, acquire a business, purchase inventory and equipment, or refinance debt, Lendistry has a solution for you. Lending products range from traditional business term loans and non-revolving lines of credit to SBA 7A loans and commercial real estate financing. Lendistry's free application process is simple and does not impact your credit score. Visit lendistry.com/KBLA to learn more and to get started with an application right from the website.
I'm Dominique DePrima. We can all fall into the trap of mindlessly spending sometimes. I know I do it. But one tip for staying on track is when you have an impromptu purchase that comes up, try making a habit of taking a quick look at your bank account balance before you buy it. It's not just about seeing how much you have in your checking account. Just looking at your account might put the urge to make that impulse purchase into perspective and help you make better choices that'll benefit you for the long term. Whatever your financial goals, U.S. Bank Access Commitment Initiatives can help support you in reaching them. Access your financial goals at usbank.com/access. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for education as a right, not a privilege. Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science is a private, non-profit, community-founded, student-centered university committed to cultivating diverse health profession leaders who are dedicated to social justice and health equity for underserved populations. CDU does this through outstanding education, clinical service, and community engagement. Recently, Charles Drew University made history by opening only the 5th medical school at an historically black university. Congratulations, South LA. Congratulations to the dean of the medical school, Dr. Deborah Proto-Stitt. CDU is now training doctors and providing $90 million in annual economic benefit to Watts and surrounding neighborhoods. To apply for medical school, get more information, or sign your child up for the Junior Doctors Saturday School program, visit cdrewu.edu. That's cdrew.edu. At KBLA, we are dedicated to equity in education and ending healthcare apartheid. And we don't back down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
But the second type of relational disturbance, and I think it's really interesting, and we will come back to this hopefully much later in the series, is what Dan Brown and David Elliott call the core conflictual relationship themes in their textbook. And so basically what they're saying is that we have this development of the experience in our body, and we're sort of nonverbal, then we develop narrative memory to begin to make sense of what's happening to us and a way to process and understand over time our experiences. And all of this contributes to a new form of understanding relationships. It's kind of like another layer on top of our attachment styles. And so the CCRT, the core conflictual relationship theme, is a relatively fixed and repeating pattern of a person's relational expectations and experiences based on the person's account of relationships, both past and present. So it kind of like joins with, okay, we have this like internal map that we develop, just as an infant even. And then we develop this memory and understanding and language to make sense of things or not make sense of things, but we have to find a way basically to do that. And that becomes this sort of like expectation about, this is what I should expect in relationships and things like that. And so it is a more complex and diverse type of relational disturbance than the four types of attachment. And Dan Brown and David Elliott say this is kind of highly stable by age 5. So we have this other layer of like, okay, this is what relationships look like. Now, you can also have a secure attachment style, but then have a relational disturbance in these CCRTs. In other words, the security was basically there, but then let's say other responses or other experiences began to shape what you perceive as relationship dynamics. And so that...
Oh, my God. Listen, you thought relationships was... I said, babe, go down to Rally's and get me a cheeseburger. It's more than that. It's, my show coming on in 30 minutes. Come on, let's hurry up. It's more. It's complex. I don't want to scare you off. But did you hear her talk about that internal map?
Mm-hmm.
This leads to a level of confusion for the partner. Because they have a map and you have a map, but they can never really directly experience your map. So now they're reliant on you to explain
what's happening for
your map, right? So, well, I expected you to do this, and you didn't do that, and you didn't show up in the way that I needed you to show up.
That's the infant that's actually talking.
Exactly, right? So watch this. Alfred Korzybski, I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in all of it. Alfred Korzybski, he was a Polish-American philosopher and engineer. He had a very profound quote, and that is, the map is not the territory. See, a map can tell you how to get somewhere. But usually a map doesn't tell you about the topography or the terrain you have to travel over. You could be on the road following your GPS, your HEPS, or your ShePS, right? And you think you're going the right way because of what you modeled. Your attachment style is a map, right? The wound you have in you is a type of map. So here it is. The map is not the territory, though. You might be able to know where to go, but you don't know the conditions of the road.
Right.
And oftentimes the conditions of the road dictate whether you're going to get there or not. Talk to me about the map.
And you know, and I call it blueprints and imprints. Like we all have blueprints, and then things that happen end up creating imprints, which is the same thing as, you know, these maps.
Imprint vulnerability.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I don't think we understand our own maps.
Ooh. Your map is in a circle, but you driving in a square.
Yeah, like I don't think we understand our own map. And then too, you know, when we talk about generational stuff that also happens, sometimes we don't understand it because it doesn't necessarily belong to us. Right? And so we might have a wound that we're carrying that didn't belong to us, that was probably our grandmothers or our great grandmothers. And we don't have verbal language to go with it because it didn't belong to us. But those things still kind of show up in the way in how our bodies respond to our partners' maps and their imprints and their blueprints and how they. So you got a lot of things that are happening in a relationship that we want to cognitively think like, just do this and then just do that and it'll be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
And I would also offer and posit this idea. The internal map, some of those experiences and modeling really defy languaging. Like you can't really put them into words. So,
which is why I do a lot of somatic work.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes the linguistic map that comes out your mouth is like a Xerox copy. Every time you do a Xerox copy, it degrades, right? The quality of it, it's not as clear. So you have an expectation that is a poor representation of the map, which isn't the territory, right? And you telling your partner, this is what I need from you.
And I think that's, you know, I don't push 5 love languages, but a lot of people talk about the 5 love language, and a lot of couples come in when they're sitting on my couch, they talk about their 5 love languages. But my personal, this is not science or anything like that, but me personally feel like the love languages are the deficits that we didn't have.
Exactly.
So if you need physical touch, perhaps that wasn't what you got.
You didn't get hugged.
Right? You didn't get that, and that's what you need, and that's what you need to feel love, or quality time, or gifts, or things like that. And a lot of times when you sit down with people and really dive into that, you hear the wounds behind those needs.
Right. Wonder why Christmas missed us.
Exactly.
So in this relationship, you will be gifted. and so then we have these expectations that your partner is going to be responsible for undoing what you experience. And they can never meet that. I can't be what your daddy wasn't to you.
Right.
Oh It's not my responsibility.
It's really unrealistic. It's unrealistic expectations, and they'll never be fulfilled, which means you'll never feel fulfilled in that relationship when it comes to that.
Oh, my God. Phone calls.
So we're forever chasing.
We got to do it. Oh, my God. This has been just overwhelmingly good. Let's get Sister Ultimatum from New York City in the building. New York, New York.
Hello there.
Hey.
Los Angeles.
How are you,
and,
sister?
Wholeness, balance, good vibrations, and wholeness to Dr. Deshawn.
Thank you.
Man, this conversation is out of this world.
Thank you, sister.
I really need to talk with Dr. Deshawn. I believe that I'm wounded, and my wounds take the form of I am confused. I used to drive and I kept getting lost. I put down the driver's license. making decisions. I have a fantastic sense of humor. I mean, fantastic to the point where I believe I would be wealthy if I was able to market it.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't seem to navigate in the direction to make this happen. And my whole life has been based around having what I feel is good ideas that never come to the table. And I also design earrings and have a uniqueness with it, but I don't carry things to its conclusion. I did grow up in foster care. Now, I'm not afraid of addressing my wounds. I know that about me. I got some get up about me, like for real. I have attempted on many occasions to seek help in the area of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently attempting to get therapy, but I really don't think it's going to pan out. I'm getting the feeling that it's not going to pan out, but I'm going to give it I'm going to stay there until because I know that it's not about talking anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That I actually physically am going to have to get in the water and learn how to swim.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Tell me about your trust in yourself.
Okay. I believe I trust myself. I live alone, and it's all on me. I believe I trust me. I believe that's about the only one I do trust.
By choice or by force?
By force.
Okay. So you feel like you're the only person you can depend on?
I don't see nobody else. I see my cat. I can depend on. I'm sorry.
Are you at home in a comfortable place? You're not driving?
Oh, I don't drive anymore.
Okay.
California.
Can you do me a favor if it feels safe for you? Can you close your eyes?
Oh, yeah.
And just kind of tell me what you're feeling in your body right now.
I see spots.
You see spots?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you feel in your body? Are there any sensations you're feeling in your body?
I'm overheated.
You're overheated. Is there any emotion you would attach to that?
Hold tight.
Yeah.
Hold tight. When we come forward, we're going to continue and finish this impromptu session with Dr. Jashana Johnson and Sister Ultimatum.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Georgia police say they'll release a mugshot of former President Trump if he's charged there for election crimes. The Democratic District Attorney in Fulton County has strongly hinted Trump will be indicted soon over alleged election interference. Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt promised reporters he'll provide them with a mugshot if Trump is arrested and arraigned. It marks the first time Trump would be forced to take a mugshot in any of his pending cases. Meantime, in Washington, D.C., Trump has pleaded not guilty to criminal charges connected to his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. He appeared in federal court today in Washington, D.C. And in Florida, a man is in custody after his wife's remains were found in 3 suitcases floating in a South Florida waterway. And that's the latest. I'm Esther Dillard on the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the Accident Guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? The Accident Guys can come to you almost anywhere, so you don't have to come to us. Se habla español.
I don't believe it. KBLA Talk 1580. I don't believe it.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580. By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your deal. I don't believe it. Oh my God. I don't believe it. 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 I don't believe it.
Mom's early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take. And when I left the oven on, we decided together that it was time to see a doctor and make a plan. Early detection gave us more time to seek out information and support as a family.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Dominique Suprema, KBLA Talk 1580. Hey, did you know that you can buy a home without making a 20% down payment? That's right. Having a large down payment actually does come with advantages like no mortgage insurance, lower monthly payments, and things like that. But there are lots of different types of loans that could be a fit for your situation. Some of them involve little or no down payment. Whatever your financial goals are, U.S. Bank Access Commitment Initiative can help support you in reaching them. Access your financial goals at usbank.com/access. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action is the youth component of the impactful CBO, known as the Community Coalition. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action has chapters at almost every South LA high school. Say Yeah, as they are properly known, is located at 80th and Vermont, but serves young people all over South LA. Under the COCO umbrella, they train youth organizers, help underserved scholars prepare for college, and work with students to help them gain admission to top universities. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action fosters teen activism, where young people have led campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars to South LA schools and forcing officials to make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCES scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll a student in South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, please visit cocsouthla.org. cocsouthla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Joe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
So I've been doing a lot of videos around what I call mama trauma. And it really is sort of a cluster of experiences that adult children, or at least teen to adult, children begin to understand about their parents, and often their mothers, right? It's about having a parent with BPD or narcissism or some form of a PD or disorder or depression, or, just some dynamic that was generally repetitive, generally chronic, typical more CPTSD, interpersonal trauma, a situation where you should have been safe, or your parents should have been there, or reliable. Perhaps you were abandoned, perhaps you were adopted, perhaps it really could go in lots of different ways. And so I'd like to expand more, even just beyond the sort of, the more typical mama trauma videos I've talked about. And so I wanted to sort of kick off this video in an even more generalized way, which I'm calling Papa trauma. And this really is about the different types of father wounds that we can have. Now, of course, we have evolved in our ways of thinking about two-parent households, or men or women, or whatever that is. But an ideal situation, I think, is that you would at a minimum have two parents. This is ideal, which is not happening for most people, but for many people. But ideally you have two parents, one that helps the other, right? It provides extra resources and support. Maybe that other parent provides accountability to a parent who is, say, out of control. But in many cases, it's not that way. In many cases, even in two-parent households, one or both of the parents are left unchecked, enabled in their behavior, and it's chronic and wounding and hurtful. And so I really wanted to talk about sort of what the different ways are we might have some type of father wound, or what I'm going to call Papa trauma. And then I would like to make videos, that's my plan, to make videos about each one of the topics in some way. And so we can use that as we explore further. Also, like I was going to say, I got sidetracked there, was that in the historical sense of mother and father, you had this idea that masculine and feminine energy occurred. Now, this could be in a same-sex couple or not, but that one parent or both had a nurturing quality, and one parent or both had more of that pushing independent quality for the child. And that's what the research often shows, is that dads, and maybe it's because of society's role, we could argue, in the historical culture, but tend to be a little more, in a general way, the research shows, more likely to, do more physical things with kids, push them to expand their horizons, and that mother is
Dr. Kim Sage, Papa trauma, if you want to look it up. Woo, Lord. See, you think because you got two parents that everything is peaches and cream? Their wounds were soulmates too. And here's the thing. I was having this conversation with the sister in the lounge with her husband and this other sister last night. After my show last night, we were having this deep conversation, and she was just putting her mother on a pedestal. And I was basically saying, you just chose the better parent for you. But that doesn't mean...
Or maybe there's a need to romanticize that.
Exactly. But I was like, that doesn't mean your mama was perfect either.
Right, and two things can be true at the same time.
Do you see? Boy, I tell you. And I mean, she was using her mother as the standard to push down her dad. And I was like, yeah, he didn't do what he was supposed to do, but that does not mean you get to say, I hope he dies and go to hell.
You're right.
Right?
You're right, but there's a reason why she's doing it. Right?
Sure.
There's a reason why she's doing it, and it might be this loyalty to mom.
Boy, I'm gonna tell you right now, the toxic nurturer is such it could be a very slippery slope.
Absolutely.
You got a mama, she's toxic, but she nurtures you.
Yeah.
It creates like a Stockholm effect.
It is. It absolutely is. A lot of times when people tell me, oh, my dad wasn't there and I have daddy issues, then when I really do the work, I'm like, I think this might be mommy issues.
Might be mama, too.
Because mommy was present.
Ooh, present and toxic.
Yeah.
Sister Ultimatum, get back in here and finish your thought. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. So what I was trying to help do is kind of get you in your body to figure out what you're feeling and what your body is communicating to us. Because sometimes we try to understand it with our cognitive brain, but I want you to actually get into your body and understand the wisdom that's coming from your body. So you were telling me the sensations you are feeling in your body. Is there any tension or pain that you're feeling in your body right now?
Oh, absolutely. Overwhelming. That is my total existence. I mean, to the point where I feel like I'm going to pass out.
Okay. Where are you feeling it in your body right now?
Well, I'm in the bed resting right now because I'm, tired from the day. So I feel it in my eyes, like my eyes will generally be burning by the time I get to the bed.
Okay. So are you feeling it in your eyes right now?
No.
Okay. Is there anything you're feeling right now in your body?
No.
Okay. Well, so here's the thing. When you're feeling something, right? Feeling is our sensations in our bodies. When you're feeling something and you don't know where it's coming from, allow your body to talk to you and just kind of sit down and be still with it, closing your eyes and really focusing in on those sensations and see what picture. I always ask my clients, is there an image that comes up for you and what meaning does that image mean for you and what emotions? And a lot of times when you just do that kind of somatic exercise, you can get a lot of wisdom to what your body is trying to create.
Well, absolutely. I certainly will. Because
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, sister.
Yeah. Great information. Yeah. And great information.
Well, listen.
Thank you all.
We appreciate you, and you have a seat at the table. Call in anytime. I want to see your name on the board Monday.
Okay. Thank you all so much for
all right,
the
now.
program.
All right, let's keep these callers rolling. We got to get them all in. Let's go. Q, Los Angeles, California. Get in here.
My brother, how have you been? It's been a while since
My
we last
brother,
spoke.
yes, it's been a long time. Welcome back to the show, bro.
Yes, brother. Brother, listening to the conversation that has taken place with the doctor, there's one thing I find very disagreeable on the subject of compromising. How can one have a sustained relationship with another individual who are coming from different background without compromising? It becomes like a me, myself, and I relationship, selfish relationship. You cannot go anywhere. You cannot retain any relationship if you do not compromise. It becomes selfish. There is Madagascar. They say that on the subject of relationship and love, we come together to create something beautiful out of love. So, if you cannot compromise your ways and you want your ways to be the only ways that is allowable in the relationship, it can never work. So when the doctor says he such a subject of compromising, it kind of surprised me that she would deny the word compromising in any relationship. Because no relationship can survive without any compromising.
Q, I think you said exactly that, brother.
So
she made a distinction between the compromise we do to make relationships work and the compromise we might do that actually harms us, where we start to compromise ourselves, where you lose yourself in the relationship. Talk to him, Doc. I'm sorry for speaking for you.
No, I wanted to. No, that's fine. I don't need to shut him down. He just heard part of it. And so what I will continue to say is that I do not teach compromise when it is about compromising self. That's the whole thing that I said. So no, too many people get into a relationship and it becomes a buyout. And so your whole self doesn't get to show up because there's no space in the relationship for you to show up. So I don't teach that type of compromise. I ask you to show up as your whole self and your partner to show up as your whole self. We're talking about mutuality at this point. And that's a higher level than compromise. Many of us compromise and it's not working. Because we're not showing up as our whole selves in these relationships.
Okay. I think I didn't hear that part because when I came, sorry.
You missed it. That's all right, Q. But we miss you, man. We miss you, brother. You got to call in more often, man. You used to call in all the time when I was brand new. But now all of a sudden, you done got used to me. You don't want to call in. Hey, Q, I expect to hear from you on Monday. You got to bring Los Angeles in the building. We appreciate you, brother. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, I'm going to Detroit, Michigan, and then I'm going to Atlanta, Georgia. We all over the nation.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you and the African American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to three key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
1455 Frazee Road, Suite 1050, San Diego, California, 92108. CordellCordell.com.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next-day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep plus Next Day Energy with melatonin plus extended release B vitamins.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Gentlemen, friends, and family, you're listening to the last 9 minutes of the VOR. The Voice of Reason has been on complete fire. And so has my playlist. And so has my Lord have mercy. Dr. Jashana Johnson has been on complete fire tonight. We've been talking about complementary wounds. That's part of the attraction process. Man, this is crazy. Like, you're attracted to just more than the physicality of the person. You're attracted to their trauma, to their problems, to their issues, to their
nervous
system. Nervous, all of it. Oh, my God. We've been on fire. Let's get these callers in here to wrap them up. All right, Monique from Detroit, Michigan. Get in here.
Hey, Zoe. How you doing? Hi, Doctor.
Hi.
I'm alive and well. How you doing?
Not too good today. You know, me and you have talked. Today would have been my dad's 85th birthday. So I just been having a hard day. But I noticed that all my relationships, I compared to him, and if you didn't measure up, I left. And as you know, though, I only deal with long-distance relationships, so it's so easy to do that, just to leave. And now this current one is a long-distance relationship, and he's measuring up to my father. And I'm so scared because now I'm like, I can't leave. And there are a lot of dynamics, like you said, when you talk about parent roles and all of those different things and the attachment style. And I know mine is 50-50, avoidance and anxious. And now I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to leave, but I don't know what to do now because I'm like, oh, wow, you're measuring up to the characteristics that I put in place.
You said you don't want to leave?
No, I don't want to leave him, no. And when I say he won't let, he leans in when he knows that I'm pulling away. And this time, it's a long distance relationship, but it's only 2.5 hours. You know, it's Cleveland, Detroit. He can jump on the plane, a 12-minute flight, or 2.5 hours.
Sounds like that classic anxious, preoccupied, and avoidance style. You said when you pull away, he leans in?
But we're both the same. It's like it's 50-50 for both of us, and it has me like, oh no, because I know what I do, and he's almost like the same. And we were friends 8 years before we became involved.
You stay in flight mode?
Yes. And I'll just say something else. And recently, last 18 months, I became visually impaired, so my whole life has changed.
What would it mean for you not to run?
I don't know.
Try not to answer so quick. Close your eyes. What would it mean for you not to run?
I would have to stay and face myself, really.
You don't feel safe with you?
No.
So it's hard to extend that to someone else?
Yeah.
Are you in your own therapy?
I stopped.
Because?
It's more of a transportation.
Okay.
And, you know, and
okay.
No, I'm just saying I had to move in with my 82-year-old mother, and she's not used to being a caretaker. I was the person in the family that did everything, literally. So now it's flipped. So I'm in the mode now where I don't want you to take me anywhere. I'll do it myself, because I'll always do it myself. But you know I can't do it myself now.
And distance has kept you safe, or pseudo safe?
Yeah.
Yes.
And to give you an example, last night, remember when I called Enzo?
Mm-hmm.
I called him and said that, and he's a businessman, you know, with different streams of income. And one is day trading, and there's something going on that he needs to pay attention. And I said that, and he showed up today. I was like, oh my God, I didn't think you would. It's like, you know, it was like he was too busy. And when I said that, I was like, why are you here?
What's the worst thing that can happen if you stay?
We would end up together forever, I guess.
Isn't that what you want?
Yes, I guess, yes.
So you're going to have to tolerate the discomfort for growth.
And then it's like, he's like, I have to move there, and I have things here. You know, I'm a businesswoman, too. And he was like, it's time for us to shut it down anyway, because I'm going to be, well, he's 61, and I'm only a few years younger.
But you realize the issue isn't him. It's the issue of you not feeling safe in your own body and in your own mind.
Yes,
and you're projecting
that
onto him to be that for you, what you cannot be for yourself.
I understand that, and I just feel like he has those characteristics that I wanted, because that's what my father was everything to me. Those knows we had this conversation.
You said he's everything you wanted?
Her father was everything to me, is what she said.
And the guy that you're seeing now
has those
same characteristics as your dad, and you don't want to leave?
No.
Don't leave. You can interrupt the pattern. Or you can continue it.
That's it. I sent him back to Cleveland this evening, like, you got to go. You needed me. I thought this was...
You keep people confused so that they can stay at arm's distance.
You know it's the truth, Monique. And Monique, stop playing with a professional, man. You know it's the truth. Oh, I see this so much. Oh, my God.
Look, I'm going to tell the doctor so. I'm almost to the same profession as you, so I know better.
So listen, Monique, the next time she's here, you must call in again, okay? I appreciate this call. I hope she helped you.
Yes, she did.
Listen,
yes, she did.
Now let me just say this. We start the conversation. It's up to y'all to finish it. Listen, this is a powerful conversation, powerful show. Really quickly, tell people where they can listen to your show, Dr. Jashana Johnson.
Right here on KBLA Talk 1580 on Saturdays from 5 to 7, and the replays on Sunday from 5 to 7. Join me at Let's Get Intimate with Dr. Jashana Johnson.
Yo, we on fire tonight. Up next, you already know, RSVP with Jill Monroe. The show continues. I'll see y'all next week with another slap.
Et non, je ne pas mais désolé, je sais. Ce que nous vivons ici bas, c'est l'océan, mais il sait. On se bat et on se bat pas.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Georgia police say they'll release a mugshot